Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mason Cox Show. Now today we've got a massive catch up as always. It's been a big week in footy, entertainment, everything. It's going to be a ripper, I think is what y'all say, a ripper of a show. But as always, we'll start from the top. We got 7 platforms: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Subscribe, share, like, comment, all the good stuff. We're really getting the fans involved nowadays, so definitely look out for all the different stuff we put on socials. And without further ado, I will introduce the legend that is Braden Cox. Welcome to the show.
People were saying that your Aussie accent in last week's podcast, like when you put on an Aussie accent, not like your normal half hybrid Aussie American accent, like when you put on the actual Aussie accent, they reckon it was really good.
Really?
I didn't.
I get real bogan in Queensland whenever I do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so like disorientated by like people's opinions of your accent and stuff because I can't hear. I still think you got a full American accent.
You get used to it, eh?
And then your Australian accent, it was like a caricature of like Aussie accents. But
that's Cletus. We've brought Cletus into the podcast before. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the old episodes. Peter Hellier.
But they're loving it. What's this t-shirt?
Yeah, it solves a lot of problems. There we go.
for people that don't know.
6'10", yes or no, I'm tall. It just solves a lot of questions. That's kind of why I put my Instagram handle as Mason16 Cox, because everyone was just like, first thing they say to you, wow, by golly, you're tall. But we'll get into it, Max. We got a lot to cover. We got off the top, we've got one of our favorite segments. I've said this last time. I'll say it again. It is one of the ones I think the listeners can definitely understand because they've probably had some themselves. It is awkward moments.
Well, this one off the top, just in case you missed it, we've started a voicemail, a hotline for the podcast.
Huge. This is a massive upgrade for the podcast, everyone.
Well, this show is literally created so we can engage with the fans because you obviously you do the interviews with the big names and that's good, but we like to communicate with the community out there. So this is what Catch Up's all about. So now that we can actually reach out, they can, like you guys can communicate with us, talk to us.
You can get your voice on the pod.
Yeah, and
that's a big deal.
I'm the one going through these messages, and there's been some doozies. There's been some ones that we can play, and there's ones that
hey, but even if we can't play it, we get entertainment out of it. So please send them through.
I'm loving it. There was an awkward moment that it was very awkward. I haven't shared it with Mace yet, but yeah, there's a fair few that we're going to go through, and we have throughout.
We've got another upgrade today. We've got a double upgrade this week. Braden's he's spent a bit of cash. He's splurged on the podcast. We have yet to get a sponsor, but we're spending cash like we have it.
We've got a soundboard, so I've put some audio grabs into the news segment. We've got some awkward moments, some hot takes. We got some bad dates. We got it all.
It's all
on
here.
The show.
It's all in today's show.
We'll kick it off. I'll say kick it off with your awkward moment.
My awkward moment. So I had a really important meeting this week, right? So there was a meeting around, I can't really tell too much to it. It was a media meeting. So it was a meeting about media that I might do in the future. Really kind of cool. Gonna, I think, bring maybe Aussie rules on a different spectrum to a lot bigger audience. There's a bit of, talk around this and be able to bring it to the masses. And it was a great meeting, don't get me wrong. And he actually, I think, listens to the podcast, so he might be a little bit embarrassed now. But I sat down with them, right? Sat down with these people, and you kind of got into the meeting. And I was talking to them for we're probably 10 minutes into the meeting. And then 10 minutes in, I kind of realized there's something in his teeth. And it's like front tooth, and it's green. And I just, you've gone too far in the conversation to actually say something. And it's like, it's an important meeting. And he's kind of like, he's pretty much lathering it up, trying to say, this is what we want to do. And he's getting really energetic about it. And I didn't want to ruin the vibe, so I just kind of let it be. But it was just one of those things you just can't miss. And I just for the next 45 minutes, I listened to him. And I don't get me wrong, I took in everything he said. But in the back of my mind, I was like, is it broccoli? Is it spinach? What is it? I'm not really sure.
It is a hard one when it's.
How do you I'll ask the fans this? How do you tell someone without it being weird?
If you can get away with it if it's jammed up in a corner and you just pretend like you didn't see it. But if it's right in the middle of a tooth or something like that, you're in a bit of trouble.
Have you ever told someone and they go, "Did I get it?" And you go, Yeah. No chance.
I'm big
You're just waiting for that text message when they get home. Be like, you're a freaking prick.
I'm big on telling people stuff like that. Like if you got your fly down.
Yes, XYZ. Examine your zipper. Is that a thing here in
No,
Australia?
I've never heard
XYZ. If you tell someone XYZ, it means examine your zipper, which means your zipper's down, mate.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And it's like a classy way to tell someone. And no one really knows. Be like, hey, XYZ.
Oh, it's better than your dick's out.
Don't think I'll be ever saying that, Braden. XYZ.
Yeah,
PC way of doing it.
We've got it.
Politically correct.
All right, we'll jump into my awkward
Yes, what's yours?
moment.
Sorry.
And I'm one of the world's worst communicators. Like my thought pattern is a message comes in from someone. I look at it and think, I'm busy in this moment. I want to really consume this message and get back to them in a meaningful and deep way.
Yeah.
And then I never reply. I just forget. I just forget because I left it till later and then I just never reply. But that goes like double for emails, especially if I'm trying to like avoid something. Like someone will ask me for something or whatever and I'll just avoid it. But so this is if you get an email and you reply after like a period of time, let's say like a few days.
Yep.
And you say, hi, sorry for the delay, been flat out, and then you go into your email. Then they reply straight away. And then you don't reply to that one for another week.
Yeah.
You can't really roll out the apologies for the delay.
Late again.
Like every time because
You've
then
set a precedent.
Yeah. So like I haven't figured out a way to fix that yet, but I do that often. Normally it's I just don't reply the second time.
Yeah. I'm usually like with text messages, I'm the guy that pins it to the top of the text message thing. And then like I kind of forget that they're all there because there's like 7 or 8 different pins. And then I realize like a week later, I was like, I meant to get back to that guy a week ago.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I going to get out of this one? I'm not really sure.
I'm the worst. And like apologies to, I've been looking for a part-time employee to help edit some of the podcasts.
If you know someone.
That I do. Well, I had what, about 150 applicants.
Huge.
And shortlisted down, sent them all out the LinkedIn message. It's like, can you let me know when a time works for you? And then I basically just ghosted like
Braden.
7 people, 8 people that replied. That's apologies.
Apologies to those people out there.
I'm still gonna get back to you because I can only use one. Sorry for the delay.
You only get one in the bank. Only one in the bank, and then no one's sorry anymore.
Yeah, so I'll get to it this week, I reckon, for sure.
Too easy, man. Well, we'll move on to hot takes. This is also a fan favorite. There's plenty here. Do you want me to start? I'll start off on this.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Because I think this week there was 91,500 people at the MCG, and damn does it feel good to have the atmosphere back at the MCG. After 2 years of just essentially nothing but silence and reverberation of just people talking to each other on the field, it is nice to not be able to hear the person standing next to you and on the field. And it's just a great, great atmosphere, man. Like I haven't felt this kind of feeling since COVID's happened, and it's just an amazing thing to have that energy back in the place.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely electric energy.
It's good for the broadcast too. Like there's more energy in the broadcast, and they cut away to like the awesome slow-mo shots of the whole crowd in bays going up at the same time. It's good for highlights packages. It's good for like everything. It's good for, it's just good for the sport.
I want to ask you this. Do you think they're still using the applause on games that don't have as many people? Like the fake applause.
Yeah, I do.
Huge. But that is a hot take.
I think because it just varies so much broadcast to broadcast.
It does.
I don't think...
I was thinking about this the other day.
I don't think they've really nailed it across the board. There's a few things that I feel like broadcasters do. There's one thing that I don't like. I don't mind that. I don't mind it. Whatever makes it sound the best.
Better, yeah.
And like brings energy into the lounge room. So I'm fine with it. It sounds sneaky, but like I think it's fine. The thing that gets me is because I've operated the replays for like sports broadcast before. Yep. So it's essentially like a VHS player with this like gear stick, and you can speed up and slow down vision. But like, so for example, like, I don't know, say you bump Joel Selwood playing footy as a complete hypothetical. What they like to do is play it at like slow motion, and then at the point of contact, make it go fast motion. So it looks like the hit is harder than it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then that really works against people that are like up for suspension.
Yes,
and stuff.
it's true.
So I feel like it manipulates public's opinion, like in a way. So like the media look at that and then they go, "Oh, that looked hard," because they made it look harder by ramping the speed. And then because of commentators like commentary on it, the people sitting at home going like, yeah, actually it did look pretty hard.
Yeah.
So like,
but it's not real speed.
Yeah.
So is there any chance I might be able to get the 2x on me just like completely every single time to look like I'm faster?
Yeah.
Well, appreciate BT if you don't mind. Well, what's your hot take? I've got one more hot take, which is another footy one, but I'll get yours first.
Actually, yeah, we're bringing footy back.
We are. We're starting actually a little bit of footy off the top. We usually save it to the end, and we will talk about it more at the end. Don't get me wrong, but what is your hot take?
Well, this one's mine, and it's probably just checking on the fans a little bit, like saying just hold up,
hold them to account.
Yeah, because so the fans, me included, I put myself in that. They're always saying, like, we want more personality in the game. But like as soon as a player says something or does something with a little pinch of personality, fans are always saying, oh, the media just jumps all over them. So no wonder they don't show any personality. Fans blame the media because it's a real easy out, right? But then, so this is where my example comes in. So Shai Bolton.
Bolts, yep.
Yeah, Bolts. So earlier in the year, he's running into the open goal, turns around, shows the ball to his opponent, kicks the ball. Personality, right?
Yeah.
Fans remember like months later, and when Richmond gets eliminated, everyone like throwing up the screenshot of Bolton doing that and going like, see you later, mate, and all that stuff. And it's like, fans are just as bad as some fans. Some fans are just as bad
We're trying to keep listeners, Braden, if you don't mind, just trashing them all.
The media with this stuff. Because it's like the fans have like the longest memories. Like they'll remember
gifts last a lifetime.
They'll remember a player did something against their team 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, and they'll just it's just sitting there in their gallery, in their photo album, just waiting for the perfect time to just burn them. Yeah. But that's what it's
a constant thing, like media and then people talking about, oh, we want personalities, and then they trash the people that show personalities and tell them to bring their head back in and fit inside the box and all this. It's been a constant theme. I feel like every single year I hear at least once.
But you want it both ways, which
there's never gonna be a happy medium.
But I don't know if it's wrong. Is my point as well, because it's like you're up there, you kick a goal, you're strutting around like pointing and stuff.
Yeah.
Then a chunk of people love it in that moment, and then like the next moment, if you like miss a goal, then they're giving you stick for it. But that's like barracking. So it is good, but
it's part of the experience.
But it does have that like tall poppy syndrome effect. Jack Ginnivan's brought so much to the game this year, telling the crowd to shush and giving it to like the Freo fans and stuff.
Jeez, man, media outlets should be paying him a royalty
and
fee.
It like does everything for footy. It's great, and I just think. I'm not sure where I sit on it. It's really confusing because it's like I love to give it to opposition players and stuff when they're
I'll talk a bit of smack to the opposition players.
So it is fun,
but
it's like it does all contribute to this like tall poppy. You won't get as much personality in the game because
I'll give as much personality as I can, Braden. I'll promise that.
Well, you haven't shied away from it, and the same with Guinea. He keeps going with it, which is good.
He's true to himself, which we love.
Yeah.
I'll say my other hot take, and this is probably a headline. It's going to happen, but umpires want center bounce taken out of the game. I think that is a true statement. I don't think umpires want to do a center bounce. We have umpires come to our trainings, and they like always ball it up, even at training. Like, and talking to some umpires, they're like, man, like, it's really a unique thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for center bounce being, it's part of the game. It makes it unique, all that kind of stuff. Agree. But there is this whole thing of umpires and how many we have in the league and how many we really want to back. And I think center bounce is something that actually makes them shit themselves.
Yeah.
And like, it actually makes them super nervous. And then I think if we actually take that out, we might have a few more umpires coming into the league. And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I'm saying if that is something a problem we need to solve is getting more umpires in, I reckon taking the center bounce out is actually going to help that actual case.
100%. I used to be more of the traditionalist side of the bounce.
I actually kind of am for the bounce because I like stuff that makes Australian rules football look the most ridiculous sport in the world. Yeah. Like anything. I was filthy whenever like the man on the mark, you had to stand there like a statue. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, oh my gosh, have a bit of personality. This is one of the things that makes the game so unique and is one of the things that sets it apart from anything else in the world. Do not take that out.
Yeah, I think the thing with the bounce for me is if you're going to bounce it, don't do the recall. Because the bounce is like, it's the randomness of it that makes it what it is. So you bounce it, it goes skew-if off to the right or off to the left or whatever. Yeah. That's part of the bounce. But if you're going to recall it every time it's a bad bounce, there's no point. Just throw it up. I'm leaning more towards just ball it up because, like you said, it opens it up for so many more umpires to be the central umpire. Yeah. Because
it's a unique skill.
They all have the fitness, like across the board. You need to be fit to be an umpire. But then like the bouncing the ball is where you would cut into a large like population of those umpires that it's like, I can't, like Razor's just getting the height, must be like just be going over your head.
Razor's bouncing it. You've got one step to get there is essentially what's happening.
So, and then, and a lot of them would, imagine Anzac Day, 95,000 in the house, and it's all on you to hit that first bounce, or you got to do the recall. TV's like stop, start,
bounce is
stall.
very important. Yeah.
All the crowds like, oh. Like, imagine hearing 95,000 people just exhale like a groan because that would be the worst. But
it would be the worst.
Yeah,
feeling.
so I'm all for throwing it up.
Yeah,
the anxiety of that.
Oh, it would be wild. It would be absolutely wild. Oh man. Anyway, we'll go into the next segment. We have simple pleasures. Simple pleasures. I'll let you start off on this one, mate, because it's I think it's a pretty good one.
Well, I thought of this. It's not like I've been doing a lot of running lately. I'm starting to really round out.
You're back into the dating scene, man. You gotta take care of the rig.
Sidebar before this was like going into this weekend, I was like, I'm gonna start watching the calories and really start.
Huge.
If I can't go to the gym all the time, if I just watch the calories, well, I watched them. They just kept going up and up and up and up.
The beers kept going up. The calories kept going up.
My idea was I looked up the low calorie beers and I got like,
did you?
Yeah, I got like a block of this, like it's 100 calories per beer. So it's real easy to calculate.
Yeah, okay.
Drank all 30 over the weekend. So there wasn't a
30.
Yeah, so there's not.
Jeez.
It wasn't
That's a big weekend.
I tried. But I tried to be good, but
okay. Sorry. So what is your simple pleasure? We're going off track.
So this is when you go for a jog and you hit like a daily mix, like one of those 4U mixes that Spotify creates.
Time capsule. That's where it's at.
So it's all just like random, but it's like banger after banger after banger after banger. You hit that song that's like got the beat with your running stride.
Yeah.
And you just feel like you can go faster for that song. When it all comes together on the Spotify playlist, when you're out for a jog, that's my simple pleasure.
It's a bit creepy how well Spotify knows my music choices.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. We'll go from like country music to like Nelly.
Yeah, how do you run to country music though?
Oh, whenever you just had a real tough day, Braden, just goes down real smooth.
Jeez.
Real smooth.
What about you? What's your simple pleasure?
Simple pleasure. Every single day before a game, I'll have avocado toast. Sorry, the morning of the game, I'll have avocado toast. And I feel like avocado is one of those things. It's a bit of a crapshoot. You really don't know what you're going to get. You open that sucker up and you're going, this could be absolutely just brown on the inside. Hopefully it's green, or it could be too hard. My simple pleasure, and I think a lot of people would understand this, is whenever you get that avocado, you go around the edges, you open her up, and it's just that prime, just perfect ripeness, and you've gone, this was the perfect avocado. I picked the right one from the bunch. That, I think, there's no better feeling in the world knowing that's your little win of the day.
That is a very good simple pleasure.
I will say this, though. I'll tell you a funny story about me and my vegetable picking skills. Whenever I first came to this country, I think it was like 2 or 3 months I had worked here, and I had $75 to my name. I was like $72.50, I think, was how much because the AFL wouldn't allow me to be paid, even though they told me they would. Yeah, don't get me started on that. For like three months, right?
A lot of built up aggression.
What a great first impression from the AFL. Hey, come to our country. We won't pay you though. And essentially, I used to go to the supermarket and I had to get like a card from one of the people at the club that was essentially just helping out with groceries because I couldn't feed myself because I didn't have money. And I was so broke and I felt so bad. You go get broccoli and there's like the stem, but no one actually ever uses the stem. I used to go break the stem off the broccoli and then only use the head of it and go and weigh that because I could save a little bit of cash.
That's thrifty.
On the way out. So there's a little tip for y'all. If you start seeing broccoli like stems just in the broccoli section, apologies, Coles.
I feel like that's a thing. I feel like I have seen
Have you?
I've seen a couple of nubs.
Maybe you've been shopping after Mason Cox. I don't know.
Oh,
there's a little helpful hint for you guys, but We're going to the next segment. This is going to be the first time we're going to use the new audio engineer here. We're going to use the next one. It is entertainment and current events. I'm going to tell you one time only, Brayden. Hit that.
It's Britney, bitch.
She's back. She is back, baby. Britney is back.
Oh,
Elton John, Britney Spears, #1 of the ARIA charts. What a banger. Absolute banger. She's out of her conservatorship or whatever. And
Conservatorship?
so, yeah, that thing. And she is just killing life. Just says, Elton, my man, we're going to make one of the best songs ever. And, well, she did.
I think Elton's album where he's just like remaking it, like one genius from Elton to just be like,
Huge.
I've already made all the best songs. Let's just redo them.
Let's just redo. Let's just bring in some
We'll just
people
get
I
in
know.
other famous people. We'll redo them all. I'll just laugh all the way to the bank. So good on him. And then good on, I assume he approached Britney to be like, let's roll.
I
Like,
can't imagine Britney would go, hey, Elton, by the way,
got any songs I can
can you help me out here? Making some questionable decisions on social media. Can you please help me out here?
And it is a banger. It's a good song.
That's an absolute banger. And she's
Yeah.
back. Hey,
It's Britney, bitch.
let's go. Let's go. Oh, I'm so hyped. What a great little sound bite.
Yeah.
I can never get old. Can we do it like 4 more times randomly?
It's Britney.
Yes.
Oh, God. They're
Oh,
gonna
all
jump
right.
off.
Sorry, the other one I've got, and this is a kind of a, we'll go into a bit of a question for you too, and maybe a little bit of the listeners can give us some feedback. Now, I read this on TMZ. Now, Scottie Pippen, everyone knows, is a famous NBA player. He's now in the media and everything else. Played with Michael Jordan and the Bulls during their big, I don't know, dynasty or whatever you want to call it. And Scottie Pippen's ex-wife was seen with Michael Jordan's son on a double date over the weekend, apparently. Questionable double date. There's 4 people hanging out. TMZ probably took and run with it, but we're going to do it also. And I was going to ask you, she's 48, he's 31, so 17-year difference. The older you get, the less it really matters. But what are the rules around dating, like, a mate's ex-girlfriend? Or even, like, a mate's friend? Like, what are the actual, like, is there solid ground rules? Like, what are we going to go with here? Because I
feel
just
like we
don't
can
know
make some.
where
We
you
can
would
make some rules.
draw the line.
I feel like bare minimum, you have to ask.
Oh, for sure.
So
Have to.
That's a starting
Before
point.
you even crack, like, before you even have a crack, you have to.
Yeah. Outside of that, if you're both adults, really.
Has anyone, like, had, like, their sister date a friend and all of a sudden they're like, yo, we're brother-in-law now?
It's
Like,
just so
we're
risky.
essentially family. How cool is this?
I feel like, once you commit, it's like, it's just the risk. It's like you could easily lose a friend
That's
over
very
it.
true.
So you have to analyze how good a friend they are.
Yeah.
I assume, I don't know. And Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, he would have been a real weirdo.
Scotty, I think Scotty's a nice guy. I've actually seen him and met him before.
Really?
I have, yep. I was at, where was I? I was in Golden State Warriors training facility. He was walking around, said, yeah. Really good fella.
Saw him in the documentary. He did, he wasn't as weird as some others on the team, but
I think Dennis Rodman probably tops the charts there. Braden, I wouldn't say there's anyone else that's probably doing as crazy things as him.
I just feel
him
like-
in North Korea just hanging out, you know,
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un. Why not?
yeah, I just feel like all the famous basketballers would be into some weird stuff.
I could tell you some stories from college. I won't at the moment. Wait till I retire. Anyway, well, that is, I guess we don't really know the answer. The answer to the question, maybe we'll put it out to everyone else, put it on socials. Please tell us what is appropriate as far as dating a friend's sister or dating a friend's ex.
Yeah, because I feel like if you ask and then they say no, it's already weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're really taking a plunge into the deep end there, aren't you?
Imagine if you rolled in and said, hey, can I date your ex-wife?
Is it an ask for forgiveness type deal, or what are we what are we getting at?
Oh,
All right, we'll put that out to the fans. Let us know, but we'll go into the next thing, and that is Braden's favorite segment, my favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment is the news stories, and we've got an upgrade. We've got sound bites.
It's Britney,
Let's
bitch.
go! It's Brittany.
Okay, that didn't make much sense, but we're jumping straight into news stories. Keep an ear out for the Florida man, and like Mason said, we've got a couple of grabs in this one, so
There's gonna be surely
exciting times.
Texas or Florida every time.
This is a cool one.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, this isn't a cool one. I take that back immediately. The last one's a cool one. This one's not so cool. Southwest pilot threatened to turn the plane around and go home if passengers didn't stop airdropping each other nudes.
Oh my god.
Apparently, this is a thing.
What?
Yeah.
This is actually a great idea.
So
As far as not that. I was saying like, everyone's airdropping stuff. Like, I don't know why, but I was just I'm thinking forward to our dating segment. And I was like, what if you airdropped your number to someone on their phone?
Yeah, okay. So be strategic about what you
airdrop. Yeah, maybe edit that if you don't mind.
Less news. A Southwest Airlines pilot piloting a plane to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, threatened to turn the plane around and involve security if a passenger didn't stop sending unsolicited airdropped nudes. The incident reportedly happened before the plane was airborne when a passenger received an explicit image and complained to the flight attendant. Now, this is audio from the pilot himself. So it's a bit of like,
got one of them.
It's a bit of your dad going on holiday and is like, if you don't shut up, I'm going to turn this car around.
So here's the deal. This continues while we're on the ground. I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved. And it's vacation that's going to be ruined. So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures. Let's get yourself to Cabo.
Let's get yourself to Cabo. So he wasn't happy.
It was very much like dad's driving, like, stop fighting in the back.
Threw out a bit of a threat. So apparently it's called cyber flashing. The practice of sending unsolicited or explicit photos to a nearby stranger. But it's not a new problem. Cyber flashing is already considered a misdemeanor in Texas after legislators teamed up with dating app Bumble, my mates, in 2019 to criminalize it. In California, a new bill sent to the government, Gavin Newsom, on August 22nd, would give unsuspecting recipients the ability to sue senders if they're older than 18. So, like, most places it's not illegal yet.
Yeah.
So people are finding out little loopholes. And I did see a guy get kicked off his flight because he got busted being the one that was sending it. And
it's almost like you can, because you go on AirDrop, right? And then like everyone's like says like, you know, Mason's iPhone or Braden's iPhone, whatever pops up, you know, and it's like literally it's like texting someone that's near you without needing their number.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of weird. I don't know if anyone's like thought of this like this. I don't know, but I do find it funny whenever you do go to AirDrop or something. It's like you can AirDrop and then it comes up with like 20 different people all around you. And you're like, this is a bit weird. I feel like I'm like violating privacy laws here.
Up next, Nebraska man squashes a record for floating in a pumpkin.
This is a very Nebraska thing. I'll give you an idea. If people don't know where Nebraska is, it is smack dab in the middle of freaking nowhere. It is literally cornfields. That's all they're known for is making corn.
I'm going to say his name is...
Also, we love people from Nebraska. So if you listen to the podcast, hey, huge fans.
Shout out Nebraska. I'm going to say his name's Dwayne Hansen.
It's Duane.
Shut up. It's spelled D-U-A-N-E. Duane Hansen had big plans for his 846-pound pumpkin.
What?
He grew an 800
like 400 kilos. What?
The 60-year-old was on a quest to squash the Guinness World Record for the longest journey by pumpkin boat.
How that's a record already is questionable to me.
Yeah, well, you say that, but as we all know, the previous record holder was Rick Swenson back in 2016 when he completed a 25-mile trip in his big pumpkin.
What?
Well, Hansen, he broke that record by floating 38 miles, which was roughly 11 hours in his floating pumpkin. It wasn't an easy journey, and after his record-winning feat, Hansen had this to say.
I went 38 miles down the river without standing up in that pumpkin, and my knees still hurt, but I probably won't try this again. And if somebody breaks this record, I will, like, bow down to them because they are tough.
Understandable, Duane. But that's a good thing, right? So
bring this back.
So my question to you is, if you could float down the Yarra in a giant pumpkin and beat 38 miles,
I don't think the Yarra is 38 miles long.
He's not coming back to try beat you.
That's it.
That's it. You've got it in the bag.
Found a loophole.
you know he's not coming back. It cooked his legs.
Hey, if you just have a convenient 846-pound pumpkin laying around, I'll do it.
Well, I will do it. He was an average-sized man, so we're gonna need.
I can't imagine from Nebraska and a guy being named Rick Swinson or Dwayne Hansen with D-U-A-N-E. Duane.
So if he fits in an 860-pound pumpkin, you're gonna need at least a 1,000-pound pumpkin. And I loved that he called it a pumpkin.
Just his accent was the most Nebraska backwoods accent ever. Can you just play a little audio, just a little chunk of it?
I went 38 miles down the river without standing up in that pumpkin.
I done went 38 miles down the river, go stuck in pumpkin. Hey, she was a great old time.
Oh, man. That got me good.
Sadly, that reminds me so much of my grandparents' area they live because it is proper backwoods. Savannah, Tennessee. Have a look.
Where you going? Down to the shop. Oh, don't worry. I'll take the pumpkin.
Yeah, don't worry. I got the pumpkin on take down. It'll be a very good old time.
All right, here we go. We go to Florida, man.
Yes, I knew there'd be one.
But I was sick of shitting on Florida, right?
Why?
So I
It's good fun.
so I found a good news story. A big pump up. A passenger with zero flying experience landed a plane in Florida after the pilot became incapacitated. So it's a good news story for everyone but the pilot.
Yeah.
Prayers up for his health. The man said, I have no idea how to fly an aeroplane. The pilot was in a single-engine Cessna 208 for those playing along at home. He had gone incoherent. The passenger tells air traffic controllers, and he stressed this is a serious situation. But then along came Robert Morgan. He's an air traffic controller, and he spoke to the man, the passenger in the plane. He said he was really calm. He said, I don't know how to fly a plane, and if I landed, I don't know how to stop it, which two pretty big concerns if you're flying a plane, to be honest.
Feet in the air. Probably two things you want to know how to do is get the hell back down.
But Morgan made the key decision. This is the air traffic controller.
Yep.
To guide the aircraft to the biggest airport in the area. So he went to the big Palm Beach International Airport, the big dog.
I've actually been there.
Well, there you go. He said he just wanted to give him a really big target to aim for.
Yeah, fair call.
And did he nail it? Morgan reckons
Huge.
it was a 10 out of 10 landing. He said, I felt like I was going to cry because I just had so much adrenaline built up. I was really happy that it all worked out and that nobody got hurt. So,
wow.
So they obviously had to clear everything out so this little Cessna could land at the international airport. So all the other pilots are just sitting there watching. This little,
this is pressure
little
101.
Cessna come in, the 208.
Knowing that the guy has zero flight experience going, this is going to be an absolute train wreck in the making. We are in Florida of all places.
So this was the air traffic controller to the other pilots.
Did you say the passengers landed the airplane?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, great job.
No flying experience. We got a controller that worked them down. That's a flight instructor.
So well done from all involved. Old Morgan probably saved the day, but then the other bloke, zero flying experience, just dobs it. Bang.
Yeah, I mean, how much does flying school take, or how many years of flying school does it take to actually have to fly a plane?
He did say it was like 40 hours of flight experience would be like to do what he did. And he's
what would you do in that scenario though? Like, think about it. You're in a plane. Let's say there's only two people in this plane. Like, I picture the old school, like Wright brothers, you know, like there's like one in front, one in the back. Everyone's got the goggles and the helmet on, you know? And
yeah.
I don't know how I would handle that situation. The guy just passes out in front of me, who's the pilot, who you put full faith in.
Yeah.
Full faith in.
Yeah. It's
like, can you imagine like that happening? Like, what do you, I'd just be like, well, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Yeah, good one. We're cooked. I'd just, straight down.
Straight down. Just
go as quick as possible.
You're looking for the parachute.
No, they did really cool stuff too. He was like, see which way's the coast, what side of the plane's it on, so they could find him because they didn't even know where he was.
Oh, God.
So they had to find him on the map
the radar,
of all the planes, and then bring him in. And
what a wild scenario! Florida, good story for the week.
That's a good.
Don't get used to it, people, because I can guarantee you it's not going to be like that next week. Otherwise, I'll have something to say about it, Brayden.
All the other stories were like about meth.
That's more on par. That's more on par with what I was thinking was going to come from Florida.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for the news stories of the week. You're welcome, everyone, for getting caught up. Can you just play one little quick nut?
I went 38 miles down the river without standing up in that pumpkin.
It's Britney, bitch.
Let's go. We should do that into every intro. Anyway, hey, it's Britney, bitch. And Britney has a great dating life. And so do you, Braden. So do you. What is the update?
Britney's going better than me. She got married.
She did get married.
Again.
Huge.
So dating.
You're a bit nervous here. I can feel the energy from you. You're a bit nervous. A little bit of shaking going on.
Well, it wasn't bad. I just don't know how to describe it in a way that doesn't reflect it as bad. So I was out on a job, so I was late to the date, right?
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. Yeah.
So that's a bad,
not a great start.
That's a bad start. So apologies. We ended up catching up. We went out to just a bar. We didn't do an activity. Had drinks. Off to a good start.
Yep.
Had some food. Now I don't know if that contributed to the next part.
Oh, here we go.
But unfortunately, she got food poisoning.
Oh no. Oh no.
If she's listening to this, I hope
Did you take her to
I
a
hope you're
dodgy
better.
like Indian restaurant?
No,
or
we
something?
got a nice pizza. So she thinks that she had an old chicken sandwich earlier in the day.
Oh
I
no.
don't know why you'd roll the dice on a chicken sandwich, but
Especially with a hot date like you coming up. Ugh.
but yeah. So there might have been a little sickness involved.
No. Well, I don't want to throw this girl under the bus. I'll tell you a story about me, okay? Because I feel like this is still very much, they're very much in this kind of romantic, honeymoon stage. So I used to have a girlfriend, right? And maybe someone out there listening has had something like this happen. If you have, let us know. I had a girlfriend, right? Same thing happened. She got food poisoning, right?
Yeah.
And I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. There's not really many places to go. There's one bathroom. And the bathroom is very close to the bedroom. And I was asleep. And let's just say I heard every noise that came out of that bathroom. And it was out both ends, people. It was out both ends. It was not good. And I think after that experience, I had to call it off. I was just like, I can't look you in the eyes again the same way I did in the past. Have you ever had a partner that's done something that is so just so disgusting in a sense? It's not their fault, but they've done something that just sticks in your head forever. And you can't get past it, and it's just going to forever live in the back of your brain. No matter how long you date this person, it will forever live in enormity every time something like that happens again.
Just something that you can't look past.
Just something that's,
It's just
something
popped
you
up
can't-
over the time.
Yeah, it's just, anyway, so safe to say that was a while ago. That was a while ago, but.
We actually have a bad date from one of our listeners.
Do you?
So some of these sounds I haven't played for Mason yet, so I just want to get his.
Oh no, I'll tell a bad date story after this too, because I promised Braden one a week.
Yeah, so here we go.
I'm a huge Collingwood supporter, and the date was going so well. I've never met a girl like that before. We had so much in common, and then finally we started talking footy. Turns out she's a Carlton fan. Next minute, she tells me she needs to go to the toilet, and I'm waiting there for 10 minutes, and she bloody ghosted me. She left.
She bolted.
She just didn't come back.
Oh.
That's one you can't do.
I reckon it's probably not that she was a Carlton fan. I don't know who this is. And thanks for listening. Really appreciate the feedback. But I reckon there maybe wasn't as much chemistry, because I feel like if you're just a fan of opposing teams, is that really enough for someone to go, nah, I'm ditching this date and I'm out of here?
I feel
Is that how passionate people are? They could never date someone of an opposing team?
I have come up against so a date's going really well, and then it gets to a topic that turns the date completely.
Yeah, one of those religion or
something.
life things.
So maybe it was going really well, and then they just butted heads a little bit, and then it's less so the topic, but more you get to see that side of the other person, and you go, But you leave the date, you wrap it up, and then you ghost them.
Yeah, that's a solid effort by her.
You don't
also, I wonder how she got did she jump out the window of the bathroom? How did we?
Real movie stuff.
Did she go out the kitchen in the back, or what? We need to get it. Hey, maybe we get this girl on. If you hear this voice and you recognize it.
Yeah, if you got a rebuttal. Oh,
a rebuttal.
She's probably listening
to get that on
to a Carlton podcast. I don't know.
I don't know if there's one.
If we're broad
Is there
enough.
a Carlton podcast?
There's plenty.
Nah,
anyway, we got one more.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Hey there, name's Darren, 26, huge Maggie's fan and big fan of you, Coxie.
Cheers, mate.
And Coco. So this dating story is when I was 18, I'm now 26, so I was seeing this girl, and every time I'd go on dates with her, there'd always be a guy with her. And I thought nothing of it at the time, and she said it was just their brother. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So I went on 2 or 3 dates with her, he would always be there. And I was chatting and seeing her for about a month, and every time I'd chat to her on the phone, her brother would always be in the background. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And long story short, the brother turned out being her boyfriend.
Oh.
Which is kind of heartbreaking.
So I'll finish that story.
Hold on. How did you not realize that?
I'll finish this story.
Hold on. First of all, off the top, told us he was 26. So I feel like you should at 26 know.
He was 18.
Oh, he's 18.
When it
Still
happened.
18. You should know.
When it happened, he was 18. So
was he holding the other person's hand? You're like, oh, we're just a really close family.
Shout out to Dazzler. He's a good Collingwood man. You used to always see him at the Collingwood Cafe.
Did ya? Oh, so you know this man personally?
I know of him.
The Dazzler.
But
cheers to the voicemail. Huge fan of these voicemails. Send them in, everyone.
But I'll finish this story off because the voicemail got a little cut off, but he had texted it through. So
okay.
He blocked her.
Yep.
He got a message from the boyfriend/brother.
Oh, wow.
Saying, why did you cut her off? She really liked you. That's
what?
That's
rich.
That's weird from them. What are they doing?
Some weird people out there.
What are they doing?
Man, this actually makes me think of another story, a dating story that I don't know if I should. I've got two now that are in the back of my head. Which one should I give? Maybe I'll let you decide. One is similar to that, and the other one is an absolutely batshit woman from college.
This is like a pick your own adventure.
It is.
I want to go with batshit.
All right. For legal reasons, we'll say her name is Michelle. That's that's not her name, so it doesn't matter. But back in college, right? I once dated this girl for about 6 months, and I had 3 or 4 roommates, very lovely humans who always looked after me, and was dating her. She told me she was a neuroscience engineer or neuroscience major. She was going to be a brain surgeon, and I was like, wow, she's quite intelligent, know, and I was really impressed, and she told me her family came from a lot of money and all this kind of stuff. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, like, not that I'm about money, but it was just, this is part of the story. And
it all goes into the big melting pot
of what's going on. So she goes to all the basketball games and stuff, and whatnot, and has met all the roommates. And one day I come back from training, and I'll come back to my 3 roommates sitting. We used to have lazy boys, everyone. They're all sitting there in these brand new lazy boys, looking at the TV, and NFL Network's on, and there's satellite on. And I've gone, boys, who bought satellite? They go, oh, don't worry. I think, what was her name? Christina from here on out. Anyway, Christina was like, oh, don't worry. I moved the satellite in because I wasn't using it at my place. So then my roommates, so she's subtly moving in.
Yeah.
Subtly, making those things, leaving stuff in the house, leaving the toothbrush, and then all of a sudden moved furniture in, then moved the satellite in.
The satellites are weird.
It was an aggressive move by her, but my roommates fell for it. And you know what? Who had to deal with it at the end? Yours truly. So anyway, she's fully clawed her way into my life. And I'm like, I'm out of town all the time at games. I'm just kind of relaxed about the whole situation. Whatever, it's college. Who cares? And one day, my roommates and I, we're all engineers, and they go, hey, we're going to go have a study hall. And I was like, oh, okay. She goes, oh, can I come with? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I go to the study hall. We do like an all-nighter studying for, fluid mechanics exam, whatever it was. And we get back, and one of my good mates, Connor, that's his real name because he's a good friend of mine. He will show up on this podcast at some point. He goes, did you know that Christina's book, did you notice it? I said, what is that? And he goes, it's biology, freshman year. She said she's in her 3rd year of neuroscience.
Oh, he's a good friend.
He's really gone Sherlock Holmes on this thing, right?
Switched on.
And I've gone, oh, surely no big deal, right? Ignored it. Connor, on the other hand, he went straight inspector. He had a friend that worked in admin, and that admin person went and looked up her whole list of classes she had taken. So looked that all up, realized she had dropped out her 1st semester, had never finished a class. Found out that she was lying about that. So then, of course, now we got the first lie.
So she doesn't even go to school.
Doesn't even go to school. Find out the first lie. Second lie. Finds out her dad's not the CEO of this company that she was saying he was the CEO of and owned this whole company, right? And then I get back to the house. I obviously call her out on these things because I was had to be forthright.
Oh man, that's awesome.
She denies everything. She comes up with these wild excuses and stuff, and then she leaves. And I go to the game that night, and I come back home, and I have $500 worth of missing stuff, like a watch, some cash, stuff out of my room. I was like, what the hell? And she told me she came back to get her stuff out of the room. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Had $500 worth of stuff gone.
So she robbed you.
Just gone. Robbed me. Proper robbed me while I was at my game. And then gets home, and she threatens to go sit with my parents and tell my parents how I'm a terrible human because my parents sit the same place at basketball all the time. Went on this whole rant and tried to sue me essentially, and this whole thing, crazy. And her whole life was a lie.
That's
Everything
insane.
was an absolute effing lie. And I would have never known if it wasn't for my roommate Connor, who just went straight Inspector Gadget and just legit went behind the scenes to find out that she was an absolute scam.
Because that could have gone like deeper and deeper and deeper. Like,
oh yeah,
that's what like those Netflix docos are made.
It is. Yeah. It was real, like, I said it last week on the pod. Go see Monty Teo, Untold.
That's
Catfish.
Crazy.
Anyway, yeah, so that was one of the girlfriends I dated in college. So your dating life could be worse, Brayden.
She's probably
could be
like
worse.
manifesting this. She's like, well, if you become a famous basketballer and I'm leeching onto you.
That's her hope. She was really
then she will be rich and she will.
Clawing at scraps.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, that's my dating story for the week.
Well, that one's a lot more hectic than like your last week's was just sad.
Just maybe, can you close it off with a bit of positive?
It's Britney, bitch.
Let's go.
How about last week? They Fox Footy did a full article on
oh my gosh, they picked it up. My terrible dating life of getting ditched at Chicago.
Quote.
Hey, whoever wrote it though, thanks for the pod mention. Appreciate it. Probably got a few calls from it. So
God, it was...
keep that up. You can tell the story about Christina. I don't even know what name we landed on, but you can tell that story of me dating is essentially an absolute scam.
The headline was perfect too. It was like, scarred for life.
Scarred for life. I've been scarred a few times in life.
Okay, we're done with the dating chat and we can jump straight into the footy chat. It's a bit of a no, actually, I was going to say it's a bit of a sad footy chat, but we're not losers here.
We're not out.
We're
still
losers,
in it.
Okay? So we're staying upright, but we will talk about it. So, in depth.
We will bring back the scars.
I actually don't know what to say about it because in the end it was, although you lost, it was
great game of footy.
A crazy good game of football. I don't think there was as many controversies in there as like people tried to pull out and pluck out. It was just two really good teams on their game going head to head.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? How did you feel afterwards? Like, how's it settled with you?
Yeah, I think I've moved on now because it's we've done the review today and well and truly into Fremantle now. But yeah, it was amazing. Like I said before, the atmosphere was electric, man. Like it was wild, and it was so good to have that many people there, and have the pressure of finals and everything else. Like it's just something we've really missed over the last few years.
Yeah,
just being able to experience that was awesome. Like absolutely loved it. Yeah, the game was up, down. We got up, and then they came back, and then we came back, and then they came back, and then they kicked that last one in the end. And it was just like it was just a electric play. Like it was just seemed like it until the very last seconds. You just had no idea. He's like, ball bounces one way, game's totally changed, and someone wins. And those are the games you love to be a part of. Like it's just it's a cool experience in life, to be honest, more than anything.
And I feel like it almost peaked when it was like AJ kicked his exact identical goal from the pocket, and then it went straight down the other end, and Jez kicked his crazy goal from the pocket, and you just like,
how about him doing the reverse celebration of Ash?
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was like, when you talk about personality and giving a bit of something and stuff, I thought that was like great. I thought that was like internet levels of great. Like,
yeah,
I feel like the younger people are a bit more in tune with like memes and like their actions of what they're doing and stuff. I thought that was like, there was one thing that stuck, like there's a Collingwood fan in the crowd and just flicking him off real hard. And I was like, how do you do that? How do you honestly do that? It's just a great moment. It's almost that one, while he's going in, you give him 100% stick.
Yeah.
You're like trying to put him off as hard as you can. But when he kicks it, all you can do is say, well done.
Unreal
well
kick.
done.
Left
Amazing
footer
kick. Left
from
footer.
the corner, left pocket. Like that's one of the hardest kicks in football. And he slotted it. And I was like, I was sitting on the bench, I think at the time, or on the field or something. And I was like, that's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I was like,
each team just kept having a reply for each other. It was crazy. It was a really good game. It was a really good final series in general. Like people are always banging on about, the game's in bad shape, the umpires are ruining the game or whatever. But I saw you actually tweeting throughout the weekend your love for like players here and there. You're always keeping an eye on Pickett.
Love him.
You give Stephen May a bit of a pump up on
Stephen May was, more like the 2 free kicks he gave. I thought he was just dominating there.
So what did you think of the weekend in general?
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. I think I talked about this recently. I said we've got, the Victorian teams, we've got Geelong team, we've got WA team with Perth, we had Queensland, we had Brisbane, we've got New South Wales with Sydney, like literally the whole country is represented. I don't think the AFL could ask for anything more.
And you think you have it picked. And then Brisbane beat Richmond. And then
kick and a question mark thing.
And then it's like Sydney goes to Melbourne and beats them again. at the MCG. And it's like, well, people were putting Melbourne up there as like one of the favourites.
Yeah.
Next to Geelong. And it's, I don't know. I feel like Collingwood lost, but you guys proved it's clear that you've already proved to yourselves that you're where you deserve to be. But like you would have earned so much respect from everyone else. Like the broader public, other clubs, just across the board. It's like that pressure.
Yeah.
Like you can take it to anyone.
Everyone's talked about Geelong being they are one of the, they've been atop the ladder the whole year and they've, proven that they're one of the best teams in the league. And it's like, whenever it comes to finals, it's anyone's game, really. And like you can be top of the league all year and then like lose the first game or whatever it is. And then it's like, well, you're back to square one. Like you got to win the rest out. So, it was, I think for us, like, we finished that game. We're like, man, we went toe to toe. And if it bounced one way or it bounced the other way, we might have won that game against the team that everyone's saying is going to be the easiest grand final, like, win or whatever it is. It's like, it's not, once the finals come around, there's anything can happen, really.
One thing that was a bit controversial over the weekend, and you did have a tweet about it, was Tom Lynch's non-goal that looked like it kind of went over the goalpost, and he kind of looked a bit flat when it came off the boot, like he knew that it wasn't a goal. But at least it's been reported that they take the players' reaction.
What a wild thing to say.
Take the players' reaction into the decision. So then the next night, there was a player from, I think it was Spargo from Melbourne was doing this.
He did the double pistols. And I was like, guaranteed they're going to call that one.
Yeah, because they're basing it off his
Because Damien Hardwick, the Richmond coach, actually tweeted out something about it being like crazy, that you take in emotion of a player's kick, like whether or not he's kicked it into whether or not it was a goal. And that's to be honest, like that's wild to me.
But I don't know. There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a better system. AFL figure it out. Essentially what we're getting at.
All right, so we're jumping into fan questions. We have an audio-based fan question.
Huge.
And then we had one awkward moment sent through that I've left to last. I could have played it in the awkward moment. All right, here we go. Fan question time.
Have you ever had a moment where a fan didn't realise that you were a famous player or person and then they found out and felt really embarrassed?
So someone that didn't know who you were and then found out after the fact that that's Mason Cox, the AFL footballer, who's almost played 100 games and almost kicked 100 goals.
Almost.
Do people ever come up to you and go like, who are you? You're someone.
Yes.
You're someone. I know you're someone.
That's the weirdest thing too. You're like, we all are someone. Like we're all somebody. What are you talking about? I find it weird because I've come from this, I didn't grow up idolizing football players or anything like that. So I just still look at myself as a normal human. But I find it very weird whenever people treat me not as an ordinary human.
Yeah, right.
And it kind of like, it gets to me because then they kind of put you on a pedestal and I'm like, mate, I'm the same as you.
Yeah.
Like we're made from the same genetics. Like it's just, I have one extra gene whenever it comes to the height gene and you don't. Like,
I don't know. I feel like tall people just in general. So let's say you weren't the prime athlete that you are.
Yeah, question. Yeah.
I feel like tall people in general are just like, they boggle people's minds. Like, geez, you're tall. What's it like reaching up?
Oh,
it's like,
there's so many things people say. They'll be like, wow, you're tall. And they'll be like, what do you say back? It's like, I know, obviously. Like, that's why you commented on it. There was no need to make that public. And then they'll be like, how tall are you? And then you're like, wearing this t-shirt. And you're like, yo, homie, make this more obvious. Literally made a t-shirt for it.
Yeah.
But I think the funniest one, I'll talk to some of my tall friends, there's always like, it's always your check, like at a checkout, and there's some older lady behind you and she's like, oh my gosh, you're so tall. And oh, my cousin's brother's sister's friend's sister's brother, who's twice removed uncle, was like 7'2". And so I know someone just like you. And I was like, you ever met him? They're like, no, I've heard about him though. It's like, lady, that is so far removed. Don't even act like you're friends with this person. Just move on.
That's right.
Jog on.
Jog
on.
Oh, that's
if you don't understand that joke, listen to the last podcast.
We're bringing that segment in.
We are. Next week, Jog On's coming on.
Who are you telling to jog on? All right. So now I've stuffed up these buttons, but I think it's this top left one.
No, try the bottom right.
No, we're not trying the bottom right. All right. So this one's a good one. So this is one of our listeners' awkward moments.
How's it going there, boys? He's asked for an awkward story or something. I was down in Bustleton there for Grooving the Mood, GTM one year.
Bustleton.
And we'd had a big one and I was on the bourbons, so I don't know if you know about it, but bourbon guts is a real serious thing. Next day, guts are killing me, so we all decided to go down to Coles there and gassed up as all hell, walking around Coles, just letting off little toots here and there. And we decided to leave, and I'm thinking, oh, you beauty, thank God. Get out, and I tell everyone, oof, sorry about this, I'm about to be dropping bombs. I just lifted up my leg and cocked it and just let out a big and there was not even 2 seconds before I had dead silence and all stares on me, and I turn around and not even a metre away from my ass is an old lady standing there in complete shock as she has just been farted on with absolute force.
With absolute force. Really lit her up.
Wow.
It's like a jet engine.
We've all been there. We've all ripped ass on a plane, and gone, who was that?
Oh, when I was listening to that for the first time, I was like, he definitely shit his pants. I was
seriously,
I was just waiting for it.
I was like, he's legit just going to go. I waddle out that thing.
So it was a good surprise that he just absolutely dumped ass on this old lady that's just standing there.
Just picturing the old lady. Everyone's probably picturing this old lady's reaction.
Well, that's why we have the new voicemail system. So
that is. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. We love it.
So
and it's we put the link in every week. So send us in.
Send in anything.
Braden will run through it all, and if it's good enough, it will make the podcast.
Yeah, I might trim out little bits. There was a couple of little things in there that I had to cut out, but we love every story. Probably more of the cleaner ones will make it on. So if you got a story, just think about
clean but funny.
Yeah,
clean but funny.
Think about how you tell it. But anything, simple pleasures, awkward moments, bad dates, anything.
Hot takes.
Yeah, give us some hot takes. And who are we telling to jog on next week?
Yes, tell us what we should tell to jog on.
But that's it.
That's it. That is the catch up, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a big one. I'm a huge fan of this audio recording thing. I think it brings a lot of energy to the pod.
Yeah.
Can I just get it one more time?
It's Britney, bitch.
Let's go! Gosh, that's gonna stick. I hope y'all enjoy that because it's gonna be around for a long time.
Before we wrap up, if someone's got 1,000-pound pumpkin out there,
please message us.
See, if someone has that, Mason will do it for sure.
11 hours in a pumpkin.
Well, you probably got to go about 12.
Well, attach a motor to the back of it.
You're going to go 12 to break the record.
12, yeah, 12 hours. 12 hours in a pumpkin.
How far's 38 miles or whatever?
It's a long way.
We just round it.
38 miles might get me to your hometown.
Round it to 50 miles, I reckon. Nice round 50 miles.
50 miles, which we don't really know what it is in kilometers, but I'll let you do the math on that one. But yes, if anyone knows a pumpkin grower that can grow 1,000-pound pumpkin, please get in contact.
What did you do in the off season?
You wouldn't believe it.
Load a pumpkin down there.
Loaded a pumpkin. Hey, broke Guinness Book of World Record there. I'll tell you, that was one fine damn time.
Oh, maybe we should just try break a Guinness record. If anyone has a Guinness record that we should break.
Yes, an easy one, please.
Yeah, it takes a bit of research. You got to find a little cherry pick
niche one. But anyway, that is the that is it. That is catch up. Awesome episode. We've got a lot we've gone through, and
7 platforms.
I seriously love this little contraption we've got with all the audio and everything else. And send in your voicemail. Seriously, this is going to be some good fun now that we've properly got some tech involved.
And you can send that in just so you can find it. It's in our link tree.
Link tree, yeah.
Link tree in the bio of our Instagram and Twitter and everywhere.
Yeah,
I imagine. So yeah, send us your voicemails.
Send us voicemails, and lastly, and always, follow us on the 7 platforms: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And share, like, follow, heart, all the good stuff. We're trying to grow the community, as always, we say. And a massive thank you. We've hit some big numbers recently, and we're really starting to expand. We've got some really, really juicy stuff coming up. I'm pretty excited.
I have to double check on that. I reckon we might have hit 5K followers.
Huge. We might by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
By the time we tell that Christina story of me and dating and getting absolutely scammed, this might hit 5K.
Oh,
but anyway, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone. Massive thank you to Brayden for putting all this together and getting all audio clips and everything else. It's been a great podcast, and hopefully over the weekend we get a W, and we'll continue this little finals run. But to close it, as always, we're going to...
It's Britney, bitch.
Let's go! Have a great day, everyone. See ya!